And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Saturday, April 18th, 10 a.m. East Coast time. And if you can hear my voice right now, I just want to say I truly appreciate you. I am Tyrone E. Wilson, the founder and CEO of Cover Six Solutions. And Cover Six Solutions is the primary organizers of the Cover Six Community Meetup Group on meetup.com. So you can find us at meetup.com/Cover6 Community if you want to join us. Bam, right there. That's the link. Also, the QR code that you're seeing up there is to our Discord channel. So if you'd like to join us on Discord as well, we'd love to have you. Today, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk part 2 of the home lab setup. You know that I have a teach you, show you, involve you style. I did reiterate multiple times during part 1 to just bear with me, to trust me. It's gonna work out. It's gonna be great for you all. A question that I always like to ask at the beginning is, if you feel comfortable, let me know where in the world you are tuning in from. I'm currently in South Florida right now. While you're doing that, talk about a little bit of the logistics for the meetup group as well as the company. You probably noticed that we started getting busy again with these meetups and started doing them regularly, twice a month. I think we have at least the next 4 or 5 meetups scheduled. We are essentially walking through our intro to cyber course, and there's 17 different topics. So we at least at a minimum have 17 different meetups, as well as one-on-one interviews, as well as we're bringing back the first time speaker series. So if you've never given a presentation before, you will start to see, I don't want to call them advertisements, but announcements for that. Those announcements come in the form of our newsletter. So either through the meetup group announcements or through the newsletter at cover6solutions.com/the6, you will be able to get all of these updates, bonuses, things of that nature in the newsletter. Our next meetup will be April 31st. It's a Friday. It's the Cover 6 monthly meet and greet, really informal. Sorry about that. Cover's man out front. It's really informal. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're down at the AC Hotel in Arlington, Virginia from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we'd love to have you join us. Come meet other members of the meetup. Have a snack, have a drink if you want. It's going to be a good time. All right, let me talk to you all about my current setup and why. As the quote-unquote instructor, I'm actually demoing this for individuals from multiple platforms. I myself am using the M1 Mac, which has its own separate architecture. Other individuals may be using Windows, and that will require a separate architecture. So for anyone that's using a Mac, M1, M2, M3, M4, you will most likely have the ARM 64 or the Arch 64 architecture, and that is very, very important to know as we move forward, because your software will not work if you install it using the wrong architecture. Folks that have the Windows will either have an AMD 64 or x86. So take a look at your settings. You should know what architecture you're running. And for the older folks using 32-bit. You have the i386 or i686, which would be very rare today. Oh, I did catch you, Joe. Joe's tuning in from State College, Pennsylvania. If that's anywhere near Pittsburgh, then I've probably been close. I attended the Carnegie Mellon course out there. All right. Terry's in Fairfax. That's what's up, Terry. Good city, Fairfax. I used to work in Fairfax, believe it or not, for a company called Salient. The buildings were called the Twin Towers, right there by the mall on Ox Road. So yeah. So real quick, let me show you what I have spin up. Speaking of spin, I am using Tailspin. This is a screenshot of my instance, because although I do have an IP address that I can reach from anywhere in the world, I don't want to display it. So I'll just show you a screenshot of what I have right now. And I have plenty of more room, plenty of space to go. But I'm using Proxmox right now. It is my old PC. I did talk about this before, but it's a headless PC. So I have a really nice Radeon Sapphire Pulse 6500, barely used, still no dust on this thing. Graphics card that I don't need anymore because it's just taking up space. So I took that out. It's a headless server. Don't even have a monitor hooked up, and I don't need it. Let me get rid of this. Bam. So I don't need it. And what I do is I just constantly try to, and it can get expensive, as I upgrade the hardware in there for RAM and memory and things of that nature. I have a 980 card and a 990 card. So my 980 card is going to be for the lab VMs, and the 990 card will be for my admin VMs. So we are bringing the labs back. And this is going to be the setup for the labs. So there'll be an announcement for that pretty soon. The first one, I think, is going to be the Pentester Prep labs, which should be fun. And you'll get your own environment, not a shared environment, but your own for 30 days. It's going to be running right there, believe it or not. So clearly, we don't have the infrastructure and the millions of dollars to have hundreds of people on the lab. But I can get up to 20 comfortably. So should be cool. At least 10 comfortably. So people constantly on the wait list, coming on, coming off. Should be all right. So that's that environment. The other environment, and I didn't forget your question, Terry, how'd I end up in Florida? Oh man. Wait till you hear my story. Go if you there's a video of me that talks about not breaking down, but basically I forget the name of the video, but basically like when it all get burnout, that's what it's called. I did a burnout video. Basically how I ended up in Florida is that I was on my caretaker journey with my mom, moved my mom down to Florida to be a little bit closer to family, felt the family love, and decided to stay and buy a house down here, but not too close to family, a little north, about an hour north of Miami. So we're fine. Question: Are we making a cyber lab? Yeah, we're gonna have a lab today. David says he's got the Kali Mac OS dual boot. not the M, currently on Windows 11 desktop with the Kali Linux on Oracle Box VM from Stafford. That's what's up. That's what's up. So you already got some things started, which is good. Let me show you my other setup, which is on my Mac. So my Mac right now, I have UTM installed, and I have an instance of Kali Linux, an older instance of Kali Linux, and then I have the newest instance of the Ubuntu server. So Kali Linux looks like this, right? And my Ubuntu server looks like this. So this is my view of the two devices. So that's the one thing. The other thing is that probably doesn't matter right now, but I have another instance of Kali Linux that is from the original VMware Fusion Pro. I had it for a while. I paid for it, so I'm going to use it. Everything still works, but you don't need to right now. VMware Fusion Pro was brought out in 2024 by Broadcom, so it is free, and that is what I would recommend for users that are using Windows right now. So VMware Fusion Pro is free, but they have been brought out by Broadcom. So I'm going through this assuming that you can install Kali Linux for your infrastructure that we just talked about, right? What I didn't want you to do is have you watch 10, 20 minutes of installs. So a lot of that work is already done. So part of the challenge is identifying your architecture and getting two things installed while I'm talking. Three things. So the first thing is a hypervisor. If you are a Mac user like myself, you want to install UTM. I believe the link is, I think it's a Mac Git app UTM. I will find the exact URL for you. So it's Mac, MAC, and I'll put it in the comments. Bam. I just put it in the comments, mac.getutm.app. That's where you want to go to install UTM. Once you install UTM on your Mac, then the other pieces is just to ensure that you are installing Kali Linux properly. I'll send you the link for this. So once you get it installed, it's going to ask how you want to install it. You want to browse the gallery, and then in the gallery, it's going to send you to this archive that I just posted the link to. You may or may not have to create an account there to browse the archive. That should allow you to easily install Kali Linux. Then I'll send you another link to download the Linux server. So I'm going to display on the screen where to download the 2023 Kali Linux image for your Mac UTM. The next one is the link to download and install the Ubuntu server for your Mac. As you can see, both of these links show the ARM architecture. That's the architecture that you're going to need if you're using the M1, M2, M3, M4 Mac. Bam. Mac users covered. For the Windows, it's a little bit more easier, a little bit more straightforward. For the Windows users, you want to download the Workstation Pro. And that is on the Broadcom website. You may or may not need to install, create an account first. And then the links for Kali Linux is a little bit different. You just want to go to type in Get Kali in Google. You go to your installer images. Matter of fact, let me share my screen so we're not confused. And thank you for being patient. And let me remove this. This is where you would want to go to download your instance of Kali Linux. Make sure that you are using the right infrastructure. The architecture, like I said. And for the Windows users, you want to download this 4 gig ISO after you install your hypervisor. Then you would want to download your Linux server. So I'm going to throw this in that window so you can see what that looks like. So again, you want to make sure that you are downloading the proper architecture, and then you would be all set. We good? Any questions, comments, anything? So the purpose of today is I want you all to be able to walk away with a few things. One is that you're going to have a working hypervisor installed on your machine. And primarily this is for those for you all who have laptops. That way you can have a working lab environment that you can take with you anywhere in the world. Want you to have a Kali Linux machine, and this Kali Linux machine is an operating system for hackers, built by hackers. There's hundreds upon hundreds of different tools on there. We're not going to talk about them just yet, but I would like you to start to do your research, start to become familiar with Kali Linux. Then we're going to install the Ubuntu server. I used to talk about installing the Metasploitable 2, but I have since changed my stance. And there's a reason for that. Well, a couple reasons for that. One is because I want you to start getting comfortable using Ubuntu and Linux. Two, there's going to be a little bit of a challenge at the command. I mean, a little bit of a challenge getting the server installed. Don't worry about that, because for all of this, we're going to provide a handout that talks you through everything. The second thing is that unlike the Metasploitable 2 machine, which comes pre-installed with a bunch of vulnerable instances of software, this is going to be nothing installed for the most part on your instance of Ubuntu server. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is because I want you, in addition to getting comfortable with Ubuntu, I want you to build your own vulnerable machine. That way you already know what's on it, you know how it works, you know what software you installed, and you know if you can exploit it or not. And I'm gonna give you a couple of instances of software that you can install to get started. Cool. All right, so we're at the 20-minute mark. I've talked long enough. Let me move to the next phase, which is the show you part. So I have a teach you, show you, involve you style. So let me show you what that looks like now again. So let me show you my screen. So you can see exactly what I'm looking at on my instance of my Mac. Let's get rid of this. All right, so this is both of my instances of UTM running. So let me clear this. We're just assuming that you didn't have to watch me, that you listened to me talk for 20 minutes instead of watching me do the install for 20 minutes. And like I said, we will have a handout for you to help you get this all installed. If I was to type in an IPA, and if you missed part one, we talked about networking. We talked about using that bridged networking, things of that nature. For the demo, I'm using a bridged environment. And you can see that my IP address is, I don't know if you can't see it, it's 10.1.10.186. So let me switch to my instance of Kali Linux, which is also bridged. And this IP address is 10.1.10.162. So I have my instance of Kali and my instance of Ubuntu server. Now, what I want to do is make sure that I can ping the server and they talk to each other. Bam. Now that they talk to each other, now I can just start with a simple Nmap command that lets me know what's running on that machine. There's only one service running on this machine. For you, if you're running it for the first time, you wouldn't have any services running. And let me show you why that is the case. And it's because I did and I'll put the command here in the comments. I did a sudo apt install vsftpd -y. Bam. That could be the very first piece of software that you install on your Ubuntu server. So once you install that, that will net you some results. The scanning and enumeration is a totally separate topic. We're going to dive deep into using Nmap, using using Metasploit auxiliary modules to identify ports, services, things of that nature. But for right now, you can just stick with the basic nmap-sv command, which is essentially a service version command for this IP address, scanning the top 1,000 most popular ports. And you can see that out of the top 1,000, 999 of them are closed. So now we have a piece of software installed. In our minds, you're starting to take note of that. Now, let's transition to see how we can use this for our benefit. And when I say our benefit, let's just say for attackers and defenders, the first 4 steps are the same. Identifying the host, identifying the ports, identifying the services, and then identifying the vulnerabilities. So what we're going to do now is talk about how you would find a vulnerability. And that's when it starts to pivot. So again, to reiterate, for attackers and defenders, the first 4 stages are the same. Find all the hosts, find all the ports on those hosts, find all the services that are running on those ports, and then find all the vulnerabilities. And then we pivot. The attackers are going to exploit those vulnerabilities. The defenders are going to fix those vulnerabilities. And you cannot attack or remediate anything on the network if you don't know what's on it. So in our case, we do already know because it's our lab. I'm going to go to exploitdb, and if you remember, the service that we had running was the vsftpd 3.0.5. So we're going to go to the exploit database, and we're going to type in really slowly vsftpd. Let me get rid of this. And we're going to see if our service version shows up. Our service version doesn't show, which means that there isn't an exploit available for that version. It doesn't mean that that version isn't vulnerable. To find out if it's vulnerable, you can probably just search for vulnerabilities for vsftpd 3.0.5. Yes. All right. So now you could do some research on some known vulnerabilities. If you know that this is vulnerable, then you may want to update your software. Let me show you another one. Any questions so far, though, first? All right. Let's do another one. So you can see what it looks like. So we're going to do a sudo apt install Apache 2. Put in my pass. Oh, my bad. Got that wrong. And this is what it looks like to do the install. All right. Clear my screen. Come back to this instance of Kali, and we're going to up arrow. We're going to run this Nmap command again. And now you see we have another service running on port 80, Apache HTTPD 2.4. Excuse me, sorry about that, 2.4.58. And now you already know the next steps. All right, so quick and painless for the most part. So just to reiterate, you should know what architecture you're running for M1, M2, M3, and 4. It would be ARM. For your Windows architecture, it would be, it would be AMD. Matter of fact, I don't want to mess you all up. Yeah, for your M1, M2, M3, and 4 Mac, it's the ARM 64 or the ARCH 64. For the Windows, it's AMD 64 or X86. And the older architectures, i386, i686, you may not see anymore. So now that we have this installed, the next steps would be like extra credit stuff. Install the Nmap essentials. Install Burp Suite. That way you have a vulnerability assessment tool that you can use in addition to the Nmap scripting engine. And then you also have a web application testing tool to add to your arsenal. I mentioned that we're going to go low and slow, but I think having this right here, learning to install software, remove software, learning to get a instance of Ubuntu server going, especially when it talks about partitioning, how much hard drive space you're going to use, and things of that nature. I think it's a really, really good start. When we get to part 3, then we start talking about the really, really, not necessarily hard stuff, but we're going to get a little bit harder when we talk about tools like Security in Wazuh. And once you get to that point, then you'll be able to literally watch yourself, hack yourself, and then you'll be able to perform incident response on yourself. Had a comment. Reading error logs when something goes wrong is good too. Yes. And we've gotten to a point where we can use AI to help you nowadays, and you can literally screenshot those error logs into AI right now. They'll tell you exactly what's wrong. They'll tell you exactly what to type in for your next steps, how to troubleshoot, and things of that nature. Again, if you can hear me, I appreciate you. Let me know where in the world you're tuning in from. And also let me know if you have any questions or comments. Unlike last month where we had the 5 hours, yeah, hold on one second. There's a song playing in the background. I can't play it all, but I'm going to tell you the backstory once it finishes. It's quick. But if you have questions, put the questions in there and I'll respond to the questions. Also, don't feel bad if you're missing the links. They're going to all be in the description as well. Endpoint, thank you so much for this input. Again, this song is almost over. I will explain. I will explain. Appreciate it, but I can't play the whole song because YouTube's gonna copyright me. So, just a really quick backstory. Yeah, so quick backstory. I did mention earlier that I came down here for the caretaker journey with my mom. And the funny thing is that this, I can't say the name, but this ALAXA was in her room. And during her transition, she created this automation that played this song, Thankful, Thankful by Mary Mary. And I asked if I can, well, do you want me to remove it? She's like, no, keep it. And, there's times where I really, really need the song because I feel like it's her saying thank you. And it just so happens to just come on. So, and I never, I always take that moment to live it, so I never turn it off. I never cut it short. So appreciate y'all for sticking through that little piece, but that's just me giving you all a little bit of me as well. So that's really all I have for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. The handout, there will be a link in the description, but at the bottom of the Cover 6 Solutions website, there's a student handouts section. There'll be a little handout there. I want you all to go forth and conquer. If you have any questions or comments, let me know either in Discord or at our email, which is info@cover6solutions.com. Let me know how it goes. I wish you all the best right now, and have a great weekend.